I use a lot of technology in my work. A lot of it is also based on my interest in things like history, geography, and places.
Hi, Debbie. My name is Mehboob Shah, and I'm looking forward to learning all the creative works of yours. Yeah.
Hi, Shah. I'm Debbie. Very happy to show you today about my work. I'm going to try to scan this bowl that we found in the studio. It's a terrarium. Actually, I want to say glass is very hard to scan, and it's also very tiny, but we're going to try it anyway. We're going to bring the scan that you make into this virtual world later. And here, when you press the red button to scan it, and anything that you see in here is going to be captured too.
Oh, okay. So I'm just trying to focus on the bowl itself, and then
give it like a little wave around, very fast, and we can see the outcome, see what happens. It's okay. It's quite interesting looking. The glass is a bit weird, but we can see the contents of it. Yeah. I've got this game engine, this development window for it open. I just brought it into the game world, but it's quite small. I'm just going to make it bigger. I think it's okay. I'll just put it here. And what will happen now is that we're going to go into the game world already. So you can see here our sort of imperfect scan. You can actually use the mouse also together with the WASD key, you can walk around. So if you press W, you'll be walking forward. And you can actually see the scan that we just made. You can compare it with the thing we have here. It's not perfect, but it's captured part of it. You can see part of it together, and you can walk around and see the details. In a different way. So for me, it's one way of bringing things from the virtual world, from the real world into our virtual world. So I also have a few other scenes to show you. For example, this is my house actually. So
I love your place.
Yeah, you can actually see. You can move your mouse around and view, and we can be sitting here in front of the sofa. We can be walking around in this real place. This is my home. Other places I've scanned. This is a scan of a void deck. The void deck of my house. I've also used this in some of the other works I've made. I've used it as a kind of setting as well. I quite like that. It's quite impressionistic as well. It's not meant to be a perfect scan. I like this kind of almost surreal take on it. And this is a street that is near my house. I quite like the ambience.
I like it very much too.
Yeah, so we can be sitting here, and you can see also the possibilities of producing this kind of virtual worlds. Through a very simple process.
Yeah, it's interesting that gorgeous. I really like this, and how you've actually projected so beautifully done. Thank you very much, Debbie, for that very nice activity. I'm really curious actually to know, how did you actually acquire the skill set, and what actually motivates you to go about doing this?
Yeah, I guess a lot of my work is what starts the process of making work is from really simple questions. I wondered what's the shape of the Singapore River? I wanted to know what people thought the shape would be, and I realized that everybody really has a different maybe impression of something basic like that. And until you ask people the question, you don't really know what's in people's minds. And I think a lot of art making is also a kind of a process of translating it, trying to understand also. For example, the visual form of something like a river. How do you? What is it? How do I represent it? What is the story of it? So a lot of the works are like that. I'm trying to find a form to present it, and I kind of use different ways and different mediums, often with technology, to kind of translate it over.
So. Different interpretations. We would expect everybody to have different their own individual interpretation. That makes it interesting. Yeah. That's what I'm very interested about, because I guess where you're coming from is trying to give a projection of somebody's own interpretation along the way, right? I think that's a great journey. What would you say for a beginner like me? How do I get into this if I'm really with the digital world now going on?
I didn't really start out I didn't study art. My degree was actually in literature, so I started off as a writer. As to how I kind of picked up those things, I think that technology is something we all, we have our smartphone, everything's around us. So for me, it's always seemed natural that I would make it with these tools. A lot of it is, I picked it up on my own. I think there's a lot of resource on the internet that allows you to also learn how to make things, and I guess it's the process of always learning new things.
Well, I'm intrigued by the uniqueness of the art form, and I'm really curious to learn more about it, to explore the journey as she took me along just now. I became much more interested in the things that she actually injected into her work. So I reckon there'll be a lot more people in this digital world who are very much interested to do this. The fact that we can actually pursue this in many forms. This makes it very interesting because you are able to interpret your own version at the same time, and I find that very much what I would love to do. So I intend to pursue this myself if given the opportunity.